Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dungeons and Debacles podcast. I am your host and dungeon master, Kevin. Going around the table, Blake.
Hey, I'm Blake. I'll be playing Sixpaw, the Ranger Tabaxi.
And Hannah.
I'm Hannah, and I'll be playing Scrape, the Kenku Necromancer.
Sounds like a Decepticon, garbage truck or something,
Something like
or
that, yeah.
a backhoe, the little known Constructicon. And
Exactly.
John.
Boobies. I'm
Yes.
playing Fum Fum, a chaotic evil barbarian rock gnome. Thanks to a belt, he has a strength of 25, which just amuses the shit out of me.
And Shane.
That's me, still playing Alexander the Bard Connoisseur.
So, as you could tell from some of the characters that people are saying they are playing today, this isn't a normal episode of the Dungeons and Debacles podcast. This is going to be a puzzle episode. Hopefully, we'll be doing a lot more of these, and these are special characters that our players have created just for these. Anna can't be with us today, so
She's
that's
on a
disappointing.
special secret mission for the government.
Yeah,
Showtime.
that checks out.
Defending Area 51. It's about that time.
Now there's another 13 days.
Gotta have the recon.
Oh, right.
All right, so let's set the scene here. So, for one reason or another, you find yourselves in the grand city of Marilesh. Looking for work, you see posters throughout the town at various inns, taverns, and shops for a business opportunity for those with strong arms, magical abilities, cunning, and wits. There aren't a lot of other details on the poster, just an illustration of a pile of gold and an address and the name of the business and its slogan. Improbable Procurements, LLC. No quest is impossible. The directions say it's located at Barron's Avenue and Maple Street inside Mad Cedric's Discount Goods and Adventurers Emporium. Each of you make your way to the location this day, and you see a large one-story building painted in a gaudy yellow with a white sign out front with the likeness of a smiling gnome with the red letters in common that read Mad Cedric's Discount Goods and Adventurers Emporium. And below the sign, there is another plaque. It's simple and purple, and in white common writing, it reads, Improbable Procurements. No quest is impossible. As you enter the store one by one, you see a mishmash of general goods and adventuring gear. You're greeted at the door by a gnome in a white linen shirt and brown breeches, wearing an apron with the likeness of Mad Cedric and the store's name upon it. The gnome clears his throat and says, How may I help you today?
Are you mad, Cedric? My name's Fum Fum. I'm a gnome. I thought you needed someone really strong. I'm really strong. I can do the thing.
Oh, I can see that, sir. You have some very rippling muscles under that shirt, but no, I'm not Mad Cedric. I'm Clep, his cousin.
I want to do the thing. And I hold out the thing with the stuff written on it.
So the gnome Clep takes the poster and just gives it a glance. He knows what it is, and he says, "Oh, of course. It's in the back to the right. There's a sign above the door. Good luck, and let me know if there's anything I could do to help you on your upcoming adventure."
I gotta go do the thing. And then I'll go into the back on the right. I think he said.
All
Is
right.
anyone else there? I'm assuming they are.
Yeah, you're all there. You've basically all come in around the same time, and as you're walking in the door, you were greeted by that gnome. So you all make your way to the back of the store and past the rope and saddles and tack and you see a door with a purple sign above it, similar to the one outside. You go inside and find a small waiting room, and there's an attractive elven woman sitting at a table inside. She looks up from whatever she's reading and says, "Welcome to the Improbable Procurements LLC. Well, no quest is impossible. Are you inquiring about the procurement of an item or person? Or are you here to offer your services in finding such items or persons?"
I'm gonna do the thing, and I hold up the sheet again.
I think we're all here
Yeah.
for the same reason, to sell our services as procurers.
Doing the
Oh yes,
thing.
that's great. We're always looking for personnel. Please have a seat, and our manager will be with you shortly. And she motions to you some benches along the wall. So you all sit down, and while you're sitting there, let's go around the room and describe what each of you are seeing here as far as your characters are concerned. Let's start with Blake.
Oh, it's always starting with me. All right. So,
Or you can start with John if you want. I don't care.
yeah, start with John. I think his
Okay,
character
John.
is
He's
Touched.
basically wearing a half plate armor and like a leather skirt, and that's pretty much it. He has the belt. Oh no, I forgot. He's got the robe of eyes. That's so weird. Yes, he's got a robe of eyes. It's just covered with eyes, so he can see everywhere. And he's got this belt that looks like it's on fire, just a little bit. It's about the fire giant strength. And he's got like a sword that's as long as he is, and a shield that seems as big as he is, both strapped to his back. But then, since he's a gnome, it's actually just a long sword and a regular shield.
So
Eyes.
what's he look like? Is he younger, older?
Yeah, he's tiny, because I wanted him to be like the smallest he could be. So he's, let's see, gnome. That means he's about 3 foot tall, and he's wiry. So he's just this skinny little wiry dude, with sort of a knotted tangle of brownish gray beard. Young for a gnome, and
And
he's
he's Winnie
also.
the Poohing it in half plate.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Hannah, describe your character.
You
Hannah
don't read
requested that
chat, do
we.
you?
Hannah
What's that?
requested that she go last.
Okay. Shane then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just Alexander. So, kind of, I want to say 5'11", blonde hair. I have a cloak on with a crossbow underneath on my back.
Ooh, they can make a real character.
I mean, I'll probably do it later, but I mean, I've just been shadowed with too much stuff, working and playing WoW. WoW's consuming my life for the worst. Got my short sword on my hip. Well, yeah, I've got short sword on my hip with the command of Elven Burn, and then I've got just leather armor that's been enchanted with for +2 with guidance, and I have a bag on my hip.
All right. Blake.
All right, so Sixpaw is a slightly taller than human average tabaxi. He's covered in a mishmash of
It's not easy, is it? I
mismatched
tried to use it earlier and fucked it up.
Mismatched?
mismatched, yes, mismatched armor and an old insignia from some generic mercenary company. He's got a few swords strapped to him, as well as a long bow, and he keeps a very nice little kitty chain hanging from his neck.
Is it Hello Kitty?
It is not Hello Kitty.
I want it to be
It
Hello
should be
Kitty.
Hello Kitty.
Yep, from now on, it's Hello Kitty.
God damn it.
All right. Hannah, you can't avoid it any longer.
No, that's fine.
Tell us
It's
about
that's I
Grave
I
Scrape.
had to pee. I'm sorry. All right, so Grave Scrape is a Kenku. Right now, they're hood is pulled up, and all you can really see is their beak. And it's they've got this long kind of feathery cloak on. It's a little weird, under which is some leather armor. And you can see that the beak is like pitch black, like almost blue. It's so black. And instead of really sitting on the chair, it's kind of squatting on the chair. It looks a little
Perched?
awkward. Yeah, perched. They're perched. And it looks a little awkward, but for them it's comfortable.
Okay. So,
So is Grave Scrape non-binary?
I haven't decided what grave scrape is yet, so when they let me know, I will let you guys know.
I think you should respect Grave Scrape's privacy.
No, Fum Fum wouldn't do that. Fum Fum has a wisdom of 8. Fum Fum does not leave well enough alone.
All right. So after about 15 minutes, you see a door open in the back, and 4 dwarves in armor walk out, and they kind of give each one of you the kind of the eye, not really the stink eye, but it's kind of like acknowledging, like, "Hey, what's up?" And a little nod. And as they walk out of the waiting room here, you hear a voice from inside the room say, "Gladys, send in the next client." And the elf looks to you and motions for you to go inside.
All of us?
And yeah,
Okay.
Fum
Since,
Fum shoves roughly to the front. Me first.
I will awkwardly walk in.
so you enter and you see a fat, balding gnome behind the desk. He's got this skullet and is chomping a big fat cigar. And you look around, the office is disheveled with papers and scrolls littering his desk. There's also a platter of a half-eaten chicken on top of some of the papers. The office is dimly lit with only an oil lamp, and it smells like a mixture of cigar smoke and old books. He's shuffling around some papers and then putting them into a box on the desk, and without looking up, he says, "Come in and have a seat." You look, and there's only 2 chairs around the desk, so some of you will have to stand.
Fum Fum climbs up onto the chair and sits.
I'll say
Probably
standing.
creaks dangerously. Half plate is heavy.
So after scribbling something down in a ledger, he finally looks up and says, "Well, fuck me. Sorry, that wasn't for you. I'm Charlie, the manager here at the franchise of Improbable Procurements, LLC, a wholly owned subsidiary of Matt Hendricks Discount Goods and Adventurers Emporium. How can I help you all?"
I hold out the thing.
So he takes it, looks at it, goes, "Oh, of course. Are you all here for to apply to be procurers?"
I am.
They're not taking my money.
So just to make a note of it for our marketing department team, how did you find us? These posters?
Yeah.
Grave scrape repeats in his exact same voice, posters.
Oh, that's okay. That's weird. So let me tell you a little bit about what we do around here at Improbable Procurements LLC. You see, people, usually powerful and wealthy people, place an order. They tell us what they want, and we go find it. We're not talking about the mundane stuff here. We're talking about the ancient and artifact type of stuff. Usually, they give us an idea about where it could be found or a map, and other times we have to put our team of scholars and investigators on it to find out where the item or person or creature may be. That's where you come in. We give you the target and location, and you go out and recover it. Of course, this isn't without risk. I'll need each of you to sign a waiver of liability that affirms that Improbable Procurements LLC is not responsible for any death or dismemberment suffered while being employed as an independent contractor of said business. If you're killed on a contracted quest from Improbable procurement, and the rest of your group manages to complete said quest, your designated beneficiary will be paid 20% of the promised fee. You'll also need to fill out a form to designate said beneficiary and sign a 1077 form for Merrill-ish tax purposes and a non-disclosure agreement that will hold you in breach of contract and financially liable for discussing any contracts with those outside of the investigative capacity to complete your quest. I think that's about it. Do you have any questions?
I do the thing now? We're doing the thing.
Yes, you could do the thing after signing some stuff.
Wait, go ahead, Fun Mom. You were about to exclaim something.
You'll just start signing things at random. Grab a pen off the desk, sign the desk.
So, are you coming in as a group? Do you know each other? Are you friends?
Not really. You called us all in at once, so we're just kind of here. I mean, I'm not opposed to working in a group.
Oh, okay. Well, just to get an idea of what sort of groups we should place you with, if not as a party here yourselves, can you just give me some ideas of what you're capable of so we can match you with the right people?
Well, I know that I, in particular, know the lay of the land and how to navigate through these kind of dangerous areas. So I'm here more as the guide kind of person. I'm not a, weakling in combat, but my preferred technique is to track stuff down. Like you were saying about the scholars who look for it, I'd be able to guide the party wherever they happen to need to go.
Oh, so you're kind of a ranger?
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay. And how about you, Bird?
So in many different voices that are not at all similar to each other, um Gravescrape starts to explain. um they say that I'm a necromancer. I can bring party members back from the dead.
Well, that's just weird on top of weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty wacky. Alexander is deeply concerned about the different voices that keep on coming out of her mouth or his mouth.
Their mouth. They.
There. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm a more of a bard. I'm like a jack of all trades for the most part. I'd say I have a bit of a silver tongue, but don't want to be too braggish. But yeah, I can do a majority of things. I know some transmutation magic, some evocation, some illusion.
Excellent, excellent. And then he looks at Tum Tum and says, "How about you, Elminster? Take it you're a wizard." And he chuckles.
No, I kill things, and I keep signing. And I rolled, and I rolled a 6 while signing his leg. He's gonna have to roll, I guess, a contested dexterity check to see if I successfully sign his leg.
I think that would probably be more of an intelligence check.
But
And it's
he's going
Thum
to
Tum.
thank me not signing his leg.
Um.
Mr.
So
Fumbleist.
what's that? A 3?
I rolled a 6 dexterity.
You just he's like, that's okay, Fum Fum. Just you just put an X there. It'll be okay.
So I pull out my knife and just make a light little X in his leg.
So you finish, and he like gingerly pulls the papers away from you, to making, not making any setting moves, thinking he might get stabbed because You're kind of like a dumb animal to him. So after everybody signs the papers, he says, okay, so your first quest is, and he starts going through some papers and he looks at them and then he's saying under his breath, he's like, no, I don't think we're going to send you after the girdle of Borscht Bonebreaker. We've been getting too many requests for savior artifacts lately. We got people on that already. And he shuffles through some more papers and reads one for a few moments, mouthing the words silently as the cigar in his mouth is like moving up and down. And he says, okay, here we go. The chafing dish of Anna Yogar the Famished. Rumored to be a container that could keep the hot hot and the cold cold without the food ever spoiling. He reads for a few moments longer and he's like, blah, 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 magic, blah, 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 tomb. Oh, here we are. It's supposedly located in a cave a few miles west of Hilldale. Locals say the cave is cursed, blah, 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 blah. He looks at a page underneath and says, oh, and we have a map. Seems easy enough. And he looks at another page and reaches out for this abacus that's on his desk, and he looks at you and does the little counting thing with his fingers, counting how many people are in the room, and he does some calculations on the abacus. It says, so looking at the contract, that would be 150 gold per person upon successful completion of the task and delivery of the item back to me. So do we have a deal?
Sure.
Yes.
In
absolutely.
his exact same voice, Gravescrape says, sure.
Yeah, it's fucking
Meanwhile,
weird.
Fum Fum is hopping up and down to try and see what's on top of the desk and saying, yep, 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 yep.
Well, great. Here's the map. And when you make it back here, you'll be paid. Good luck, and please see my secretary outside for any other proper releases or tax forms I may be forgetting. And at that, he looks down at another group of papers and shoos you out. And as you leave, you see another group of adventurers in the waiting room, and you hear Charlie shout out, next! To the elven secretary. And she motions the next group in and says, excuse me, I just have a few more papers for you to sign. And you're each given some more papers and need to be filled out in triplicate that absolves the Improbable Procurements LLC of any liability and a non-disclosure agreement. So after you sign all that, you all pull out the map and you look at where this thing is supposedly located, and it's a couple of hours outside the town of Hilldale. And if you look on the map here, you are currently in Marilesh, which is right here. And Hilldale is right here. So it's a couple days north. And then
Not
once
at
you get
88
there,
miles an hour.
so for expedience sake and brevity, we'll say that after about 3 days, you find yourself at Hilldale, and you're asking around, and they're like, "Oh yeah, everybody knows about the ruins up there, up on the hill, where supposedly this powerful wizard used to live, and nobody goes in there because it's cursed, and anybody that shows up there or decides to go up there never comes back." So let's switch over to the puzzle map. So if everybody could take their tokens and put up here at the top.
Tokens?
Did you have like tokens or whatever for your characters?
Nope.
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 I'll grab one.
We all suck at life.
I fell into the DM layer.
Hey, there's Alexander.
Yeah, I put it on, and it was the exact second that you deleted stuff on there.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
All right, while you're finding those tokens, I am going to run and fill my water up real quickly.
Oh, give me
All
a
right.
token.
Is this going to be a multiple session thing, you think? Or is this just going to be like self.
This is a one shot.
Okay.
But Charlie and Improbable Procurements LLC will be a recurring theme.
Reasonable enough?
For our one-shot puzzle characters.
Well, one shot as in each one of them is going to be, like a different quest, but same characters. There's not really a campaign to it. All right, is everybody on the board?
Nope, still trying to find the picture I downloaded.
Maybe you should just find a picture of a giant or something.
I love your tabaxi icon.
Oh yeah, it's my cat. He's so cute.
Is that the barbarian from the D&D cartoon?
Yep. I have a minion. Who's my minion? Who's my minion?
All right, now where did Hannah's character go?
I am trying to find a stock photo that actually works.
Maybe you should just use the picture bird person from Rick and Morty. I think
There
that
you go.
fits. If the shoe fits.
Here's one. Maybe. Sharing it in not well, yeah. Let's see. Discord, yeah.
What's the site again that I can go to?
Pixabay?
What?
Pixabay.
Pixabay, the stock photo site?
Okay. It'll only take me one more second. I apologize.
I
Here,
signed so many things for
have
this.
this
You have
picture
no
first.
idea. Why is it taking so long? I signed my name all over.
Fill out your bubbles, fum.
I hope he doesn't just put X's in his bubbles.
You can blame Shane for that one.
All right, are we good to go? Hannah, you still working?
Yeah, I have my temporary one up there. I'll
Okay.
go on without me. Well, not without me, but without the. I'll fix it as we go. Words.
All right. Let me go through and make sure your names are showing up here.
What an American hero.
All right, that looks good. Okay, so you find this place, and it's not hard to get inside because the wooden doors that seal the entrance to this place look like they have long been broken down. As you enter, it's dark in here, and there is this musty, mossy smell inside. There appears to be a long hallway here. Um, as far as you can see, who here has dark vision?
Fum Fum does,
Six Paw does.
because he
Okay,
has a robe of eyes.
so you'll be able to see down this hallway pretty far. About what is that, 60 feet? So
Yes.
that's about as far as you can see
Actually,
down.
ooh,
The floors here are this kind of like almost like cave floor, naturally like carved, not man-made. There's a lot of dust in here, and you can see some like old footprints where people have ventured in. And looking down, you see some of it's like they ventured in for about 10 feet, and then the same footprints like turned around and walked right back out for some reason. So how would you like to proceed?
I would like to cast light on my short sword.
Okay.
Good call.
And I would also like to, and we can only see like that far down into the hallway.
The ones with dark vision can. Yours would be, is it 40 feet bright light and then 60 feet dim?
I have it written here. Let me bring it up. It's 20 feet and then another 20. So 20 regular, 20 dim.
Okay.
And I would also like to cast light on a bolt. And hey, guys, would you mind getting out of the way for a second? I'm going to shoot this crossbow down the way to see how far it goes. And I will shoot my crossbow with the bolt with light on it down the hallway.
Okay. Give me an attack roll.
Sure thing. $16.
All right. So you cast light onto this bolt. Can you have two sources of light up at the same time, one around you? And how
I
does that work?
should. Let me check. Uh, you touch one object, no larger than 10 feet of dimension. Till the spell ends, the object sheds light of 2020. Light can be colored as I want.
It is not concentration, so yes, you can have multiple up at the same
Yeah.
time.
Okay. Stand by. So as far as you could see currently, you would be able to say grave scrape, and yeah, you would all probably be able to see about this much of the room here. Um, you can see where the crossbow bolt has, as he shoots it down the hallway, you hear this clang, and you can now see the crossbow bolt is sitting in front of a steel door on the opposite side of what appears to be a chamber that's opening up down below here.
Okay. Hey, Fum, do you want to take the lead so you can really show your big, strong figure to the monsters down there, if there is any?
Do the thing.
Hell yeah.
So what are you doing?
I think we lost Sean.
Yeah, I think we lost John. I don't know what happened. Hey, would you look at that? Now all the cameras are rearranged.
Oh, I accidentally freaking with John coming in and out.
Yep. So now John is the dungeon master, and Kevin is now me, and I am now John.
Wow, I'm really happy
am
that this
long-
polymorph effect has worked out.
If he comes back,
He
We
has
had a
to,
work-
he asked you to change the server if possible, Kevin.
change the server. Let me see if I can remember how to do that.
Top left in the drop down of like the name of the channel, and then you would go to server settings or something like that, and then it would just be right there. It's easier on desktop.
I'm on desktop. It's not. It's not in home settings. It's in the channel settings, right?
Right. So like if you're at the channel and you see the name at the top left and it has like the drop down option, it should have server settings.
Okay. I'm gonna try US South and see if that works. I was on East.
I've got good internet, so anything should be fine for me.
Hey, there he is.
Hey,
We've done it.
still rearranged all the cameras. Looks like.
Hell yeah.
You're the dungeon master now.
What do you want to do? Fum has taken total control of the channel.
We're going that way.
Okay. So are you moving down into the room?
Hey John, did you hear what I said before you died?
No,
Hey
you
Fum,
cast
do
light
you
on something.
Yeah, I cast light on the bolt and shot down the hallway, and we can see like the steel door down there. And then I proceeded, hey Fum, do you want to take the lead so you can show the monsters your big formidable form, if there are any down there?
Rawr! He doesn't need an invitation. He just starts running down. By the way, when you cast light, he sort of gave a shriek of indignation because he had to cast, or he had to do a con save against being blinded by the light. Rubbed up like a deuce. Another rumor in the night. Now he's down there, sword in one hand, shield in the other, spinning around looking for enemies.
All right. So
Rawr. That's a bad
you enter
stick.
this chamber here, and it opens up, and inside, it's about 10, 20, 30, about 35 feet, about 35 feet. On the opposite side of the room, you are going to see that bolt that bounced off this steel door. And then as you run out into the middle of this thing, you kind of freeze in your tracks and you look to your left and your right, and you see these two huge stone statues um, that, as you moved in, like moved and turned their head to look at you, um, but they aren't moving anymore.
They're monsters in here. They're not attacking though.
Well, that's a good sign, but we're still gonna have to keep an eye out for them.
Yeah, golems are pretty scary.
Six Paul is
Okay.
gonna
Yeah, I had a
investigate
little
one of these
night
stone golems. What do they look like? Do they have any markings on them? Are they? I don't know.
As you get closer, you can see that they are covered in these tiny magical runes all over them. Give me an Arcana check. Are you trained in Arcana at all?
No.
Okay. Just give me a either a history or an Arcana check.
5. Rolling hot.
You may have heard something like this. Something about, sometimes wizards will create guardians that sometimes long outlive them. But that you think that's maybe the story that you've heard, but you may have dreamed it. You don't know.
Hey, Gray Scrape, you do magic stuff, right? Can you take a look at these markings on this statue?
Um, Gravescrape is going to say, "Yep," and then take a look at the carvings on the statue.
Okay. You're gonna have to probably get um right up on one of the other of these to actually take a look at the carvings. All right. Give me an Arcana check.
15.
You're familiar with these. You know that this is a animated stone golem. Um, Judging by the markings on here, these are magical runes. You're going to see some runes that are basically transmutation magic. Others are abjuration. But yeah, that's what this thing is. It is non-animated right now because these things apparently don't perceive you as a threat.
Uh,
I'm just gonna.
they're going to relay all of that information in a just multitude of different voices that uh for those who don't know, Kenku can only speak with mimicry, so they have to copy voices. But I figure at this point, Gravescrape has been around enough people that they can basically say whatever they want to say. It's just going to come out in a very strange combination of voices to make the sentence that they want to make.
You
I like
hear
the idea of him imitating their college lecturer for like 5 minutes, just repeating the
and
entire lecture on stone golems.
off camera, you hear Charlie the gnome say, "That's fucking weird."
He's right. That is fucking weird.
Now, Thumb Thumb's going to come down here to this weird thing on the southern wall, whatever it is, and look at that.
Okay, so you come down to the southern wall, and this is a solid steel door. It is bisected, so this is actually two doors that join in the middle. Um, the door itself is plain with no writings or markings on it.
Going to push on it to try and open it.
Okay. Um, are you like give it a push and it's not opening?
I'm going to push really hard.
Okay, give me a strength or an athletics.
24.
Okay, so you push really hard on this thing, and you know you're you're pretty aware of your abilities, and as much effort as you're putting into this thing, um, there's nothing happening. And you're like, well, you gave that a solid try, and this thing should have moved, but it's not moving. Give me a perception or investigation check.
I have advantage on visual perception. It's not visual perception. Well, either way, it's a 17.
Yes, it is visual perception. Um, so you this door is not moving. You're like, okay, that's weird. You know, that should be moving. And you look around, and you are going to see on each side of this door there are two slots. So two on the left side and two on the right side.
How's the door going, Fum Fum?
It won't open. It's really really closed. But there are these hole things in the wall. That's that's. Then he's gonna shrug and walk.
I would like to investigate the holes in the wall.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
Natural 1.
They look like holes in the wall.
Hell yeah. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Hannah went and picked up the arrow in her beak. Sorry, Gravescrape picked up the arrow in its beak.
Basically.
Question: how big are these holes?
Looking at them, they
No
appear
slut
to
shaming.
be like 3/4 of an inch long vertically, and probably not more than a 1/4 inch wide.
Okay. So maybe some
Um,
sort of tablet?
How big are
Grave,
the golem fingers?
The fingers of the golem,
Yeah,
each one of their fingers, they're kind of like pebbles kind of put together, and they're like these big like monster sausage fingers.
makes sense.
so Gravescrape is also going to cast light, but on their crescent scythe blade.
Okay. Whole lot of light going on in this room.
Well, I've been looking through, and Kenku don't have low light vision, which makes sense, I suppose, because birds probably don't have low light vision. It just never occurred to me. But I do have the spell, so I'm going to use it. And they're gonna look behind this golem over here and see if they can see anything.
Oh, I just failed my con
Okay.
save. Running away.
Are you like trying to move in between, or just like trying to
No.
like peek around it?
Kind of like peek around.
Okay.
Like,
You can't you peek around it, and it's pretty close to the entrance here. So about all you can see is about 5 feet in here. And it appears to be a hallway.
You need to get back there. I could move the statue.
uh, Gravescape's gonna nod their head, just
Okay.
like a bird. It looks weird, but they are weird, and I'm embracing that.
I'm gonna grab the
That's
statue
fucking
as
weird.
much as possible around one of its legs and try to pick it up and move it to the side.
Okay. So you go up to it and you grab a hold of its leg, and I'm going to need you to roll initiative
Here.
because you are now a threat.
All of us or just Fum Fum?
If I would say all of you, but more pressing, Fum Fum. If you just want to sit back and let these two go at it, you can.
But did he topple it by pulling its leg?
As soon as he reached for its leg and started tugging on it, it started moving and is going to try to make a slam attack against Fum Fum.
That makes sense.
Is everybody in?
I am in. I think we're set.
Okay, so Alexander, you're watching this, and as soon as he starts to tug on this golem's leg, you see it raise its stone arms above its head, and then starts to come down on Thumb Thumb. What do you want to do?
I will dash forward 5 feet and try and yank Fum Fum out of the way of the slam.
Okay, give me a strength or athletics check if you're trained in it.
Okay, if I can find my character sheet. There we go.
Is a small guy, but he's wearing heavy armor.
You said
So-
strength or athletics?
Yep. I know, John. That's why this is going to be a fairly high DC.
Crit.
Those are the two extremes. Wow.
Yeah, natural 20 and a natural 1.
I'm really good at
It
this.
wasn't for disadvantage. Um, So as you see these arms start to come down on Fum Fum, you've got like a little extra time because he's so low to the ground, so the arms actually have to travel a little bit further. So you are able to like reach up, grab a hold of the back of Fum Fum's um, breastplate and pull him back.
Watch where you're going, Fum Fum. These things are not the most friendly things.
Neither am I. Roar!
So I'll say that when the golem's turn comes up, I will give it disadvantage because this is like happening at the same time, and as these arms are coming down, you pull him back. So he'll get to make that attack, but we'll make it a disadvantage. Anything else you want to do?
I think that counts as my actual action.
Yeah.
Would we both have moved back a square, or are we just kind of like within our 5 feet radius of our
I'll
block?
say that like the momentum of that as you're trying to move back and you're breaking up your movement. I'll say you'll be able to move back 5 feet this way. Um, that would be a an opportunity attack, but all this is happening at the same time, so we'll just make it part of its attack.
Okay. That counts as my regular action. I don't really want to move anywhere. That seems about my turn. I'll pass.
Okay, Six Paw, you're up.
All right, quick as a quick thing. Six Ball's gonna roll forward and in one smooth motion pull out a longbow +1 and an arrow. Cast Hunter's Mark. Pay very close attention to this stone golem and where any possible weak points would be, and loose an arrow. Or I
All right.
guess 2? Yes. So let me dump Hunter's Mark in here. Oh, I guess that doesn't do the spell description. Hold on.
It's 1d6 and you can move it
Yeah.
after they drop to 0 hit points. It's fine. It's just an extra damage spell and it's also
Yeah.
concentration.
Okay. And 2 shots. 21 and a 20.
Oh yeah, those are both going to hit.
All right. And because I am a Gloomstalker, I also get Dread Ambusher. First turn of combat, my speed increases by 10 feet, and if I take the attack action, I can make one additional weapon attack as part of that action. And that third attack can do an extra 1d8 damage if it hits. So I'm going to roll this
Nice.
third attack. Which is an 18.
That'll hit.
All right, so 3 hits. The first 2 only have the Hunter's Mark. 1. Whoa, why is it doing this? The hell? Okay, 8, and then I'm just gonna roll these Hunter's Marks. I don't know what's happening on. So that first one does 9 piercing damage. The second one does 9 piercing damage, and the third one with the Dread Ambusher does did that extra d8 roll with it? No, it did not. Let me roll that. I don't know what's going on with my character sheet. And that last one is going to hit for 19 damage for a total of 37 points of damage.
Nice. All
and
right.
That
So
and Six Paw's turn. Yeah.
so you whip out your bow and you just start pinging this thing. This for purpose of this, that's a magic weapon, correct?
Yes, +1.
Okay. All right. So you see these arrows sink into this stone, which you're like, well, that should be impossible because it's stone. But you've like chipped away, and these arrows have lodged itself in. It's kind of looking like a porcupine from the front.
Perfect.
All right. Next up is Fum Fum.
All right, now I get to find out how barbarians do. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. Roar! I'm a monster and go into a rage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go forward with a reckless attack and start attacking the hell out of this guy.
Okay. Roll.
And I'm not sure how many attacks I get.
You should get 2 attacks. You're using a one-handed or two-handed weapon.
One-handed longsword +1.
Okay, and a shield. You're not 2-weapon fighting, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you get 2 attacks at 8th
Okay.
or 7th level.
And because it's strength, I get advantage on these attacks.
Yeah.
Because I'm
If you're
raging.
using reckless attack, you'll get advantage.
So the 26.
That hits.
All right. And I think I get like a bonus to damage.
You
That's already
should
taken
add
that much.
your, I think it's your strength modifier, or +2 because you're raging.
Let's see, rage. Rage damage, yes. Okay, so it's +2. Not a whole lot. Okay, so that makes it 12 damage. But I also have the first creature that I hit on each of my turns with a weapon attack takes extra damage equal to d6 plus half my barbarian level. So that's d6 plus 3. Ooh, so he takes an extra 9 necrotic damage on that. So that's 10 plus 2 is 12 plus 9 is 21 total damage.
All right, and second attack.
And that's
That's a
another 14
25. That'll hit.
damage. Yep, or 14 damage.
Nice.
Assuming my rage damage applies every time.
Yep. And I'd accidentally took the hit points out of you instead of the golem. How much was that total again?
So dang it, 21 plus 14 is 35 total damage. Whank, whank.
All right. So you well into this thing with your longsword, and you're going to take one of its arms off at the wrist.
Booyah.
Do you want to do anything else?
No, I think I'll just stay there and sort of scream impotently. Well, not impotently. Scream potently at probably his thigh, because that's I'm guessing how tall he is
Yeah. He's probably about 7 feet tall.
compared to my 3. Yeah, okay. So I'm screaming at his thigh. Rawr!
All right. Grape scrape.
Okay, so I was gonna do a thing, but then I decided not to do that thing because it takes like a minute to cast, and I'm not about that life. Um, at least not in the middle of combat. Because that seems like a bad idea. Anyway, so instead, I'm going to cast Toll the Dead. Yes.
You're playing the bird, not Talia. God.
It's a necromantic spell, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah.
What's
So I'm gonna say again.
what's the DC?
14.
And that's a con save or wisdom?
Uh, Charisma.
Charisma. It got a -1. So
Exciting.
Wow.
I'm gonna say that he failed. That should be 2d12 for you because it's taking damage.
Yes, and I tried to click it and it didn't do the thing. So
Do you want me to roll it for you?
no, I got it. I'm
Okay.
just typing it out and then I'll figure out how I did this wrong on this character, but not Talia. my god, 4?
Oh, that's
Ooh.
bad.
Oh, that's a way better roll. I should have gone with that. Thanks, Blake. Good to know. I've never had it do this before because normally Talia's just rolls damage. I'll have to edit that while we're doing this.
All right. So, anything else you want to do?
Um. No.
Okay. Next up is the golem. It is going to take some
Finish
slam
its attack
attacks
against
against
Fum
Fum Fum.
So technically, you said that Alexander gave it disadvantage by pulling me away, right?
Correct. So that is a
But my
12.
reckless attack
And,
gives it advantage, so I think that cancels out.
so that'll be straight rolls. So that is a 19 and a 26 then.
Those will both hit. But I have resistance to bludgeoning,
So
piercing, and
it'll half the
slashing.
damage.
Okay.
So the first attack, you'll take 9 points of bludgeoning damage. That's halved.
Have
And then
to 5?
no, that
Or is
is
that
the
already
half.
halved?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
18 points of damage. And then the second attack, you are going to take 11 points of bludgeoning damage, and that's halved already.
Okay, so down to 55. I continue
All
to
right.
scream potently. Probably getting pretty annoying.
Next up's Alexander.
Yep. I am going to move to the side here, and then shoot him with Ray of Frost.
Okay. What's the DC? Or is that a
It's an
range
attack
spell?
roll. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
ranged spell attack. So it's 19 to hit,
That hits.
and then it does 2d8 damage.
You should be using that like all the time.
It's pretty good. It comes out to 11.
All right. So you cast this ray of frost, and it hits it on the other arm, and it freezes, and you see its hand break off.
Exciting.
All right. Anything else?
No, I think that's my turn. Pass.
All right, Six Paw, finish this off.
All right, 2 attacks with the Hunter's Mark. Kaboom, kaboom. 26 and a 23
Oh yeah,
to hit.
those both hit.
Is my stuff? Oh yeah, I'm rolling like 19s and 16s. Okay, I'm like, did I put everything in correctly? Because these are high. Let me.
Just rolling
I'll
well.
roll the damage and roll 2d6. Oh, I guess is that already included? 1d. Oh, that ignore that 9 piercing damage. Da, 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 da.
Oh, it's dead.
Okay, yeah, it's 6 plus 9 plus 4. It's 19 plus 6 is 24, something like that.
All right, what's it look like when you kill this thing?
It's gonna be Six Ball is gonna loose 2 arrows, boop boop, and I assume this thing has eyes, so it's just gonna go straight in the 2 eyes and knock his head off.
All right, so the head goes rolling onto the ground, and then just a short time later, the various boulders and hands like fist-sized rocks that make up this thing, just the magic that was holding it together dissipates, and it just falls into like rubble on the ground. All right. So now that this is out of the way, you can get a good look down this hallway, and it appears that it ends in a T about 20 feet back. And then when you walk all the rest of the way down the hall, you are going to see 2 steel doors to the north and to the south.
Thum Thum ends his rage and picks up a rock, a small one, puts it in his pouch.
Okay.
Grave Scrape's gonna knock on the lower steel door.
Okay. So you knock on it, and you kind of hear this hollow thud, and some resonance into whatever the room is behind it. But that's all that happens.
Do I see a keyhole or a doorknob or a
You
push
see,
bar?
it's a latch on it.
I'm gonna try to open it.
Okay. You open it.
So what comes out to kill me?
Um, so you open the door and you look inside, and this looks like it was at one time a kitchen area. You see some barrels in here, an overturned table. There is a two areas for like food preparation, and then there is a basin that is filled with water, and you are going to see like a bubble come up from it.
I'm gonna go investigate the bubble.
Okay.
Fum Fum's going in the
So,
northern door. Well, she's
Grave Scrape, you look into the basin where this bubble popped up, and inside you're going to see what looks like a key, and it has a symbol on it that looks like three interconnected circles, uh, where and you think they're kind of like an abstraction of what soap bubbles look like.
Interesting. Do I see a spoon anywhere near me?
You look around, and yeah, you see like a rusty spoon and or not a like a wooden spoon, and like a rusty iron fork and a rusty meat cleaver.
I'm gonna pick up the wooden spoon and try to scoop the key out of the stuff.
Okay. So you scoop it out of the water in this basin, and as you pull it out, um there's like this oil slickness looking to it, like when you're like blowing a bubble, and like you pull it away and it's trying to form like a bubble, and it's got like that oil slick look to it. But then that breaks, and you just look at it, and it is a whitish gray key that has those soap bubbles on it.
Awesome.
So what do you
And
want
then
to
I
do with
think
it?
I'm gonna tuck it in a pocket.
Okay. So you reach out and you pick it up off the spoon, and it feels slightly slick to the touch, and it's kind of hard to hold on to. So you have to like use both hands to like hold on to the thing because it's really slippery, and you stick it in your pocket.
Great.
All right.
Uh,
So Fum Fum, I think you said you were going into the door to the north.
Yep. Fum
Okay.
Fum's easily distracted.
Okay, so while Grave Scrape and Alexander are down here exploring in the kitchen, you're going to open the door to the north, and inside that, you are going to see what appears to be a sleeping chamber. Inside there is a large bed. There is a bearskin rug on the floor and a dresser um, to the west here.
I'm going to start wearing the bearskin rug as a robe over my
Okay.
robe of eyes. And I'm going to walk over and start digging through the dresser.
Okay. It's actually a good thing that you've got this rug on, because when you walked into the room, the rest of this ruin that you're in is kind of chilly, but when you walked into this room, there was like this cold air draft that came out of this room, and it's much cooler in here than the rest of the ruin that you're in. And as you get closer to the dresser, you feel like it's even colder over here. So when you go rummaging through the dresser, you are going to open this long, thin drawer towards the top, and pull it out. And inside, you are going to find a key. And it has a symbol on it that looks like a jagged spike, which is an abstraction of an icicle.
I am going to grab it. Hey guys, I found a key.
Okay, so
It's
when you pick it up, it's kind of like it's so cold it's hot, and it's like a hot potato in your hand, and it's kind of too cold to hold.
so I can't hold on to it.
You could, but it's going to be pretty painful, and you may take some damage if you like try to hold on to it for long.
Okay, I'm going to say, "Ow, that's cold," and I'm going to wrap my hand in the bear's paw, sort of like a glove, and pick it up with that.
Okay. So with the insulation of the bear skin, you're able to hold on to this thing. It's still not comfortable, but it doesn't feel like it's burning your skin.
So I'm going to run back out in the hallway and say, "Hey, look what I found. It's a key. It's cold. Do you think this is the thing we're looking for? We're supposed to keep things cold."
I guess I don't know what cold things have to do with the fum fum, but we found a key over here too.
My key's better.
So, Grave Scrape, while all of this is going on, is going to use a special ability that they
Oh.
have as part of their class, Spontaneous Unburial, which means that I can cast Animate Undead or Animate Dead without there having to be a body there, and I will get to animate a dead and control an undead.
How many? Just one?
Just the one.
Okay. Let me find. And you're casting it.
Yes.
Why got to
And
be
let
a
me try to.
foul mimicry of life? Why can't it be an elegant mimicry of life, or a kawaii immigrant in mimicry of life, like an adorable little dancing skeleton, a Hello
Who
Kitty
says the
skeleton.
skeleton isn't adorable?
You got something against skeletons?
I mean, heck, I have a skeleton. I think it's pretty beautiful.
Yeah, me too. It's just not in the open. It's pretty shy.
You're
I'm sharing a
beautiful.
picture of an adorable skeleton. Well, a link to a picture of an adorable skeleton.
Should we change the name of a skeleton and like smaller creatures to Skeleounce?
Can't find a good skeleton on here.
I appreciated that joke, but I don't know. It just didn't do it for me.
That's fine. You gotta try.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the AC of this skeleton?
I have been trying to find that, but I don't see it in the spell.
The
If you just go
GM
to
has the
the
creature's game statistics, so it looks like it's just a regular skeleton
Yeah, just a skeleton.
or a zombie.
Yeah, it probably uses a monster manual.
yeah, if you go to the
All
eye
right.
in the top right, the compendium, just type in skeleton, you'll find skeleton, all the stats are right there.
It seems like it's 13.
And it stays animated for like ever.
Yeah.
You can have up to 4.
Yeah. Actually, I
Yeah,
think in
yeah.
later levels I can have more.
Some of these skeletons is pretty fucking weird.
All right. It's got an AC of 13, and it gets +4 to hit, and does 1d6 +2 damage.
Guys, I have an idea. And
Yeah.
Fum Fum's going to run out to the main room and try sticking his really super cold key into one of those slots.
stand
and
by.
he's
I'm setting up.
dragging this super huge bearskin rug behind him because it's probably 10 feet long and he's 3 feet tall.
All right. So Grave Scrape casts this spell, and you're all kind of weirded out after you see this skeleton like claw its way out of this stone floor. Um, and it's carrying a shield and a short sword. Um, let's see. So, Fum, you're going to take the cold key and stick it into one of these slots. Hello? Did we lose John again?
Rest in
Yep,
peace.
looks like it.
Maybe we can use a reanimate dead on him.
I actually can't animate dead on these guys. The skeleton is gonna follow me. I assume
Oh,
we have to get past the second stone golem, so I'm just gonna cast Toll the Dead on it. Ooh,
I mean,
actually, wait.
Sorry about
we're
that. I
waiting
had
for
to pee.
John. Oh,
But yes, I went and
Oh,
stuck the
okay.
key in a.
Okay.
John.
So you stick the key in here, and you turn it, and you hear what sounds like a sliding piece of metal inside of this steel door.
Look, guys, it worked. Probably it worked.
Nice.
And I'm
Grave
going to
Scrape is
start
also going to put the key in, I suppose, and
Okay.
turn it.
probably with a
Okay.
great more difficulty.
I am backing
Uh,
that to a safe distance.
you turn it, and you hear a similar scraping of metal.
Awesome.
All right.
And then we kill the stone golem.
Are you attacking it?
Uh, yeah, might as well.
Just let's set up first. Send
Okay.
your thing,
Yeah, I'm
your
gonna send my
pile of
skeleton in.
bones first.
Wait, very tacky. Okay.
Just put him in front of the stone golem. Because I can't control him, apparently.
How often can you summon a skeleton?
As often as she casts the spell.
Yeah, however many spell slots I have.
I didn't realize it was like a spell slot thing. You said it was like a thing tied to your race, I think. So I thought it was like
It's
a
a
daily
class
thing.
feature, but it's the same as the spell. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
That makes
exactly.
sense.
that count against number of spells known, but still requires a spell slot to cast. Very tacky.
Maybe Fum
Right.
Fum should go on the top and the skeleton should go on the bottom, so that way we can meta game and get advantage.
Fumsum hears attack from the south, and he launches in to go in and attack.
Okay. Let's everybody roll initiative.
And but a humble initiative boy.
It's supposed to be automatically rolling initiative with advantage, but it's not. 20.
What do you mean? It is. If you hover over the 11.14, you'll see there's a 9 and a 7 in parentheses. Both of those are rolls.
Oh.
It took the 9.
No, that 7, I think, is. Oh, that's definitely not plus anything. So, yeah. All right. 9 versus 7 plus 2. Okay. Cool. So it already did. All right.
All right. Is everybody in the initiative?
Yep.
All right. Grave Scrape, you're going first.
I am a little surprised by that initiative roll.
Go ahead. Does the skeleton get a
So
separate initiative? I thought she controlled it a bonus. Or is that just bonus as a command?
I thought it was its own creature.
hold on. Let me look it up again. Or let me read it again. I
It's
think
not like an animal companion.
I think I can use my action to specifically control it, but otherwise it attacks whatever I'm attacking.
It will defend
And I
itself
don't have to
against hostile
control it.
creatures. And once given an order, it will follow that order until the task is done. So it sounds like it's semi-autonomous. Yeah, neat.
Yeah, so I
Terrorize the village.
right?
That might be. That's not a simple command.
So I guess when I sent it up there, like the command was to attack.
Okay.
So I'm going to also attack with Toll the Dead.
Yep.
This is the undamaged version. I learned.
You're on brand.
9. No, wait,
That
that's not
is
how that
gonna-
works.
No, that's a
Yeah, no.
DC. That's a charisma save.
Yes.
Okay, that's a 2.
Cool, it
They have
takes
very
16
low
damage.
charisma. All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Next up is the skeleton. Have you named it? I just put Toby up here because I thought it was funny.
I
Or do
like
you
Toby.
not want to name it because you? Okay. I don't know if you
Jesus,
didn't want to name
bird.
it because you don't want to
It's
get
bird, bird,
attached, but
No, it's fine. As I create more undead, I'll just slowly name them after former Spider-Men.
Its name
all
is
right.
Rock.
Yeah, one of them will
So-
be named Grah. I don't know how to spell that, but that'll be its name.
All right. So that is a 13. That's going to hit.
Is there any way to
For
give
6 points of damage.
Ooh. Is there any way to give her control over the thing? Make it a little bit less work for you? Similar for Anna and her spear?
It doesn't have any macro
Midian.
set up for it.
That's poo.
So I'm having to roll like just individual numbers anyway. All right, Six Paw, you're up.
All right, Six Paw will move to the side because Alexander moved in front of him, I guess. And loose 3 arrows. The last one is going to be the extra attack for an extra d8 if it hits. And bonus action to do a Hunter's Mark. So Hunter's Mark first, and we'll let 3 arrows loose. 23, 20. What is this? Why am I rolling so high? The bonus is all 16, 13, and that's 14.
I mean, you
have
roll
plus
low a lot of
7
the time
from somewhere.
Yeah, I guess at some
awesome.
point Karma's got to get back. 3 for proficiency, 3 for dexterity, 1 for magic. Yeah, I guess that is. Wow.
Yep.
All
It's
right.
just a 16.
So these are with the Hunter's Mark.
Plus having a plus 7 to your roll isn't very shabby.
What is that? Okay,
No
why
doubt.
did it not roll? Okay.
Apparently
So it
your
didn't roll
damage
one of
is
the...
weird. Oh, Hunter's Mark.
I don't know why it's rolling. Let's see. So 1d8, that's a normal one. Then 1d6. Okay, so that's 7, 14, 25. And then the last one has that extra d8 tacked onto it. I'm just going to avoid using these global damage modifiers because they are not working today. Uh, 25 to 32, 44. 44 damage.
44 damage total.
Yep, all magical.
Nice. All right, so you light into this thing with these arrows, and you just see like these fist-sized rocks become dislodged out of this thing and fall to the ground and crumble, and it's looking pretty hurt. It didn't like that, so it is going to turn and actually move up here to try to attack you.
Attack of opportunity.
Ooh, that means Toby gets
Yep.
an attack of opportunity too.
Yep.
Do you get advantage on opportunity or no?
No.
Or would we because we're flanking? I have no idea.
Uh, that's a good question because it would actually have to move out of your flank to trigger an opportunity attack. Because
Mhm.
if it was right here, it's no longer flank, but it's not triggering an opportunity attack until it gets here. So I'm going to
But
say no on the advantage.
well, here's one thing, right? So it would have to move from this square here to here
To
or
there.
here,
Uh huh.
right?
Uh huh.
Wouldn't we have advantage because of Alexander?
No,
No.
because it doesn't leave the threat range until it gets here.
Oh, gotcha.
Mhm.
So I'm going to say that I'll let you both have opportunity attacks on it, but I'm going to say that that will not be an
without
advantage
Gotcha.
because that just makes sense.
Do you want me to roll? I don't know what to
16.
roll, but I can do it.
Roll a d20 and add 4 to it. Uh, Fum, you're definitely going to hit. That's going to be 9 points of damage.
That's right. You better
15.
Rod.
That's going to hit as well for Toby. Roll a d6 and add 2 to it.
7.
There you go. So as it comes for Six Paw, you both just turn around and tag it, and it's looking pretty rough. Like you get it in the back of its thigh, and a bunch of the rocks crumble out of it, and it's kind of limping as it single-mindedly tries to go after Six Paw. These things aren't smart.
So let me
That
just
is,
yeah, push this out of the way. I have an AC of 14. You're probably gonna hit on all of these.
that's a 25 and a 29.
Yep, those will hit.
That is going to be for 46 points of damage.
Oof.
You
Okay.
can evade, right, or something like that. You're a
I
thief.
am a ranger. I
something.
am not a rogue.
Oh, never mind.
46, you said?
46, 46, yes.
Okay.
Should have been a rogue.
Next up is Fum.
Rar, you don't walk away from me. You think you're better than wow. Did it? Wow, that's a okay. You can't walk away from me. You're not better than me. Rar, and he's gonna rage, and um, get a strip of beef jerky off the back of his shield so he can chew on that furiously and run to attack. All right. So first attack, attacking furiously, recklessly, so he'll have advantage. Oh wait, he already has advantage. Well, he's kind of dumb. All right, so 13 damage plus his first thing gets. Oh wait, a 19 when he hits.
19 points of damage.
No, 19 to hit, which will hit.
Oh, yeah, 19
So
hits.
13 point plus his divine fury gives d6 plus 3 necrotic.
What's it look like when you take this thing out?
Well, he just sort of he comes running in, sprinting in as hard as he can. He jumps up as high as he can. He brings his sword down really, really hard through its right buttock, just shearing off that little bit of buttock. And it goes pinging around the room and hits the thing in the head really hard, knocking its head off, and it falls to pieces.
All right.
And he ends his
So
rage.
that is Stone Golem is dispatched. And
He's
you look
furiously proud
around,
buttock.
and this this kitty cat man is looking pretty rough.
You about the beef jerky?
Yeah, let's rest for a bit.
No, I got this. Let me just relocate my shoulder real quick. And Six Paw is gonna cast Cure Wounds 4 times. One at second level, one at 3 times. 1 at second level, 2 at first level, and we'll see how far that gets me.
Don't you
You
have
could also
like?
take a short rest.
Can't
Yeah,
we take a
use
short rest
That,
and just?
but why
then
would
hit
I
Hit
take a
dice.
short rest if I still have spells left?
What?
Isn't
I
that
still
what
have
short
spells
rests
left.
are
Why would I
for?
take a short rest?
Okay.
What does spell slots have to do with short rests?
Because you get spell slots back with a short rest.
Some
Do
classes
you?
do. No, not
Yeah.
most of them, but I'm fine because like I was the only one who got hit that round. I am not the tank, so I am okay with this. I just need a few hit points back as a buffer. So that is 12, another 12, so 24. Yeah, I'm good with that. So 24 hit points back.
All right. So after dispatching this stone golem, you look down the hall, and it looks similar to the hall that you were just in on the other side.
I grab my bearskin coat and flap down the hall
Okay.
into the northern room again.
Okay. So when you go into the room to the north, you are going to see what looks to be a office of some sort. There's a rug on the floor and a desk on the north wall. There's some tables, and then give me a perception check.
Ooh, advantage if it's sight. Ah. So 13, but
That's enough. So
okay.
you look around, and you are going to see a barrel over here to the east, and you're going to notice that there's some steam coming out of it, and you see like the lid like kind of abruptly raised just a little bit as the steam escapes and falls back down.
Okay. I am going to hold on a second. Okay, he doesn't really think this through. He's going to run over, kick over the bucket, and grab the key that he knows is inside without stopping
Okay.
to think that it's probably going to be really hot.
Okay, so you kick that over, and as you do, the water that was inside this barrel, all 40 gallons of hot boiling water, spills all over the floor. Give me a dex save.
Dex save. Okay, that's a 9 plus 1 for 10 because he has a lucky stone. Gives him +1 on checks and saves.
Yeah, that's not going to do it. You are going to take 8 points of fire damage as this water splashes up and hits you on your bare thighs since you're Donald ducking it.
Donald Fumpking.
But now that you've kicked this over and the water is all over the floor here, you are going to see what appears to be another key. It is silver and has a symbol on it that looks like wavy lines. That now looking at it, you're like, okay, then that's supposed to be like heat.
And now, while still wearing my bearskin, having been warned by the hot water, I'm going to grab the rug that's in the thing and use that to pick up the key.
Okay,
I want to make him
so
look as ridiculous as possible.
so you pick up the key with the rug, and there's steam that's coming up from the rug now, and you start to smell kind of like burning from it, like the hairs or the fibers that were used to weave it are starting to smolder. You can
Get out of
feel
the
even
way.
even through the rug, you can feel the heat off of this thing. You're not taking
And,
any damage, but it's not comfortable to hold.
and I'm going to run wearing the bear, carrying the rug with the key in it back down the hallway
Okay.
to the slot. And I'm going to try and stick it in.
Okay. So you stick it in and turn it, and you hear the scraping of metal like the two other times that you heard before.
That worked, guys.
Great. So what is that? One more?
One more. I can count. I'm an educated barbarian.
Hey, Grave Scrape. Toby looks pretty useful. How about we have him open the door instead?
Right,
Yes,
him open the
definitely one
door.
more. Total of
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
So you command Toby to open the door, and he opens it and steps inside. And what you find inside appears to be a library. Um, there are shelves and books, a table, and a chair. Over in the south east corner, it appears to be just like a pile of books. And then there's some more books on the back shelf here. You also notice uh, like kind of a foul, acrid smell in this room, like sour.
I'm gonna start digging through the pile of books, I guess.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
10.
Um, you're digging through these books, and you notice that as you've come over here to this side of the room, that sour smell has gotten stronger. But you're not seeing anything but books at this point.
I'm gonna come down here to this bookshelf down here and see if I see anything. Like I don't know where to place my person,
These
but like
sofas
here.
on the left?
Okay. So what are you doing?
I'm just gonna rummage through the books and see if anything pops out at me.
Okay, the books on the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me another investigation check.
10.
Yeah, you go through these, and you're actually adding to this pile because you just take them off the shelf, and if there's nothing in the book or nothing behind it, you just throw it into this pile of books. But so far, that's all you're seeing is these books. Books and books and books and books and books.
Uh anyone else wanna to look? Uh Grave
Toby
Scrape's
goes
gonna say
over and
that.
starts. Toby goes over and starts leafing through some periodicals over here.
I'm going to go through the desk.
He's like, popular science. I always forget about this. What?
Fum goes through the desk.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
This is going to go poorly.
Nice.
Oh, 17.
Much better than me.
All right. So you're going through this desk over here, and you're looking through these papers, and out of the corner of your eye, you see like this kind of almost like a heat mirage, but it's kind of like yellowish color, and it's coming from the edge of these books over here that are on
Hey,
the
there's a
floor.
pig over here. I'm going to start digging through that.
Okay. You
that
start
way.
digging through that, and you find the source of this sour smell. It is another key, and
Dude, that
it has a
stinks.
symbol on it. Yeah, I mean, it's like sour eggs and like lemon.
It smells
Um,
like Bob.
yeah, with some like throw up bile included in there too. Not like the
Anybody else
smell of
hungry?
throw up bile, but like the taste of throw up bile that's like in the back of your throat now. So it has a symbol on it that looks like a square with a skull in the center, which is a kind of like the representation of a gelatinous cube. And you going to pick it up, or what are you going to do with it?
Gonna grab it with both hands and run back with it to the thing.
Okay, so you pick it up with both hands, and before you can even get out of the room, it like starts to tingle, and then you make it back into the larger room with the door, and by then you're starting to get like the sensation of a chemical
Acid
burn.
burns.
Yeah, and then you take it in and to stick it into the door, and you turn it, and you're going to hear that slide again, that metal scraping, and then you're going to see the door crack open. But when you pull your hand away from this key, it's sticky and doesn't want to let go, and then you pull off, and then you're going to notice that it's taken some of the skin off of your fingers.
Yep, just like Bob's cooking. All right, how much damage do I take?
You're going to take, oh, that's not bad, 3 points of damage. All right, so you're back in the main room, and this large steel door has now cracked open.
I'm gonna push on it again.
Okay, so you push on it, and the bisected doors here open into two doors and swing open, and inside you can see it's another dark room. You can see about as far as like where the light extends, and you're going to see some light reflecting off another steel door on the opposite end of this room to the south.
Okay, I would like to pick up the arrow that has light attached to it, and then just kind of put it back into the crossbow and shoot it at the steel door again.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
25.
Damn, why can't you roll like this in the normal campaign?
Yeah, you're telling me,
No
man.
kidding.
I'm just happy to be here. It's because
You've kicked ass this episode.
they don't. I get really good luck whenever it doesn't like ultimately matter, but whenever it actually matters, I usually roll pretty low.
Eventually, we'll all be dead.
All right, so you shoot this crossbow bolt, and you can see the glimmer off this door, and you aim right for it, and you just tag it, and then the arrow clatters to the ground, and you can now see all of this area is lit, but from the angle you're at, you can't see all the way into the room. Grave Scrape would be able to see probably a little bit more uh, down this way, since they are at an angle.
You guys
Grave
want to
Scrape's
take?
gonna go in.
Okay, I guess.
All right.
Toby's gonna follow me.
All right. So as you enter the room, damn, there's so much light in this room, I can't see
Let's just assume that the
what's
room
underneath.
is lit.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's turn off
Go
these
ahead, turn
auras.
off Alexander's thing. Just assume assume there's light.
because it's like layer after layer of light.
Extreme light.
So we're
I
looking
think
at piles of
Grape's
bodies.
the only one that's still got light
Yep.
up. Let me take that off. All right, much better. Let's place you right here because you can't. Well, I guess you can be in that square.
Like just
All
behind
right.
the tub of the disturbing things.
Yeah. All right. So you're going to enter this room, and it's much the same floors, but the air as you come in here, it's much staler and older. Um, so these doors open. You walk inside, and you're going to see that this room is littered with old bits of armor. And in the center of this room, there are 4 deep basins. Each one of them is filled with what appears to be, at first glance, water. And at the bottom of each basin, as you look down inside, is with the light in this room, you're going to be able to see a keyhole. And on the south side here, there is a heavy steel door. And as you look around, you don't see any keyholes or handles on it.
Pushing on the door.
Scrape's gonna go see if they can take one of the keys out of the door without it closing on them.
Okay. Which key you're going to try to
Preferably
take?
the soapy one,
Okay.
the most
Um,
pleasant of the 4.
so as you try to grab a hold of this thing, you're having trouble. Like you can turn it, but as you try to pull it out, your fingers slide off of it. It's so slippery, um, or your feathers rather. But you're able to get like both hands around it and find some enough of purchase on the key that you can pull it out. But when you pull it out, nothing happens.
So the door just stays open.
Yep.
Awesome. Grave Scrape is going to say in an amalgamation of voices, uh, get the keys.
Six Paul is gonna use his cloak to grab one of the cold key. I don't remember which side that was put in, but and bring
It
it
doesn't
over.
really
It was
matter.
on the left.
Okay.
I'm going to run, grab the rug, and use that to grab the hotkey.
Okay. That just leaves the acid key.
It's all you, Alexander.
I guess. I
You
will.
have Toby.
Oh yeah, Toby. Hey Toby, can you get that for me? And then I'm gonna look at Grayscape
Toby.
as I'm talking to Toby.
Toby
Grave
just
Scrape
stares at
will
you and doesn't do anything.
Grave Scrape will nod at Toby and repeat in Alexander's voice, "Go get the key."
Fuck, that's weird.
That's fucking weird.
That's fucking
It does.
weird.
It doesn't get any less weirder.
So Toby goes out and grabs the key and walks back in. And so all of you are in the room. You got all the keys. And about 30 seconds after Toby removes the key and walks into this room, the steel doors slam shut.
This is
Well,
fine.
fuck.
I'm not worried.
We're sure this stuff is water, right? That it's safe to put our hands in and such. Someone can test
Sure.
that.
I'm going to stick the key in the keyhole in this basin up here in the northwest, whether it makes sense to do that or not.
Let's see, the northwest.
Does it have any
Okay.
markings on it?
So when you go to that basin, stand by. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes here. All right. So as you approach this basin, there's a strange, acrid smell coming from it. It's eye watering and it burns your nose.
Acrid, eye-watering, burns my nose. Yeah, this is probably where we're going to put the hotkey. And I shove the hotkey in there and turn.
The hotkey.
That's the one I grabbed.
Okay. So you stick it in there and you get all the way down to the bottom of that and your skin is starting to burn and you try to get it into the keyhole and it doesn't work. And
I
you're going
pull
to
it out
take
and go, ow, ow, ow,
6
ow,
points
ow.
of 6 points of acid damage.
This feels like the Bob cooking key. And I'm going to walk around and look for the basin that's hot.
Grave Scrape will have Toby put the key that Toby picked up into that one and turn it.
Sorry, say again.
Grave Scrape will have Toby put the key in the one that Fum just stuck his hand into and turn it and see if it works.
Okay. So he had the acid key. So he sticks it in there and he goes down to the bottom, sticks it in and turns it and you're going to see the water the acidic water drain out of this thing. He pulls his arm up and how many hit points does he have?
13.
All right. So he pulls his arm up and it has disintegrated all the way up past his elbow.
No, Toby!
So
I
he
hope you
doesn't
used your
actually pull
shield
his arm out.
arm.
He leaves most of it in the basin.
Yeah.
All right,
All
Tixpaw's
right.
gonna find
So
the colder basin, if there is one, and put the cold key inside of it.
okay. Give me an investigation check.
Sure. A 6. Yeah.
You go to all the all of these things and you study it. Nothing really looks like cold to you though.
All right.
Do you want to
Um,
try to like stick your finger in each one of these to see if you can figure out which one's cold?
Yeah, we'll start with the bottom right.
Okay. So you stick your finger in that and the as your finger breaks the surface of this water, it begins to boil fiercely. And you're going to take that's going to be 15 points of fire damage.
Ouch.
Grave Scrape's gonna go up to this basin up here and try
Okay.
sticking the soapy key in.
Okay. So you stick the key in, and as soon as like the key is going to break this liquid, and then once your feathery hand breaks the liquid, you're going to feel the water is like freezing cold, and it starts to form ice around your um, feathers. You're going to take it rolled really low. You're going to take 13 points of ice damage, and I'm going to need you to give me a strength saving throw.
Oh fuck! Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I got really fucking lucky. 17.
Oh, that is because uh, as this ice starts to form, it starts creeping up your arm and spreading out across the basin. and it starts to freeze solid, but you're able to pull your arm out before it gets trapped in there, but not without taking like a whole bunch of feathers that are now frozen in this basin of ice.
Gravescrape's gonna be upset and then go back down to this bottom one here and sulk.
Okay,
Sounds
guys,
like there's
wait,
only one left.
wait like half a second. Let me use this prayer of healing so we don't accidentally die in this place. You guys are looking pretty rough.
Can prayer of healing heal Toby?
No, it doesn't affect undead or constructs. I'm sorry.
I do have a question. Are these just piles of armor, or are there piles of skeletons or bodies here that I can animate?
Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
15.
These are pieces of armor. You're not seeing any body parts.
Oh, nice. Thank you,
Okay.
Alexander.
Yeah, so I'm going to restore 24 life to everybody except for Toby.
24 life? Wow.
Correct. Meat points, to be
Meat
exact.
points.
Okay.
That's an impressive spell.
Thought,
All right,
idea.
I'm going to stick my hand in the hot basin and turn the key. It's
Okay.
probably going to hurt.
Okay.
Bum is not clever or wise.
Okay. So you stick it in there. You're going to take that is 15 points of fire damage. But you're able to get the key to the bottom and turn it. And as you do, the boiling liquid um, drains from it, and you pull out your arm, and it looks like you've got the worst sunburn you've ever had. You're like beet red, and you're starting to see some like blisters form.
When I was a little kid, I had chicken pox when we went to the beach, and then I got sunburned, and it looked really weird. Or maybe we went to the beach and I came back with chicken pox. Either way, I had sunburn and chicken pox on my legs. It was the weirdest thing the doctor's ever seen because it came out like little tiny red dots.
Gross.
Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming
Um,
it looks like that.
All right, so
Chicken
you have used the steam key and the acid key.
and Gravescrape's gonna call Toby over and have him put the soap key in this basin
Okay, so
because Gravescrape's not dumb.
okay, so Toby comes down here, and you're like, okay, grab this key and put it in the basin, and it pulls out its arm to reach for it, but all is left is like the bone up to his elbow, from his elbow up to his shoulder, and like keeps moving it, trying to grab the key, but there's
Other
no hand
arm,
to grab it.
dumbass. That's what Gravescrape says to Toby in a very stern, what sounds like something that has been said to Gravescrape before, but the arm is in like a different woman's voice.
um,
Elder
and it's
arm,
like,
dumbass.
and it drops its shield and takes the key with the other hand, and then walks over to the basin and dips its arm down in there and turns the key, and the liquid um, drains out of the basin. Um, but some of this liquid was like super soapy and slippery, and by the process of sticking his arm in, the volume of his arm has caused some of the liquid to spill out and hit the floor. And as it pulls its arm up and completes its task and stands up, it moves its feet and slips, and in doing so, it's going to fall down and take Uh, it's going to take 3 points of damage, and the skeleton just falls apart onto the floor.
Makes a clattering noise, sort of like a xylophone.
Would that be a
Yeah.
pile of bones that I can reanimate?
Yeah, you could try. You could reanimate him.
I'm gonna bring Toby back from the dead. Let me just use a spell slot.
You're bringing him back from the undeath.
Yes, I'm bringing him back from undeath.
Okay. So you cast that, and he reforms.
Good, Toby. Now stay.
All right. So that's 3 keys down. The only basin left is this one up here to the top where Grave Scrape tried to put the key in, but the basin froze over.
I have a. I will do it myself. I have a necklace of cold resistance.
Oh, I was going to say use some of the armor maybe to protect yourself before you stick your hand in.
That sounds like it would work. Do I have anything useful?
We'll grab a soda. Be right back.
Yeah, I'll just find some cloth, wrap my hand in it, and shove it in.
Oh, I mean, there's armor lying around over the place.
How is that going to protect my hand?
What do you mean? They have gauntlets?
Yeah, that makes sense. Gauntlets do exist. Are there any gauntlets around, Kevin?
Give me an investigation check.
All hits, no whammies. 22.
Yeah, you find several pairs of gauntlets and even some matching pairs.
Are there some that are extremely larger than the others?
You see some very large ones in here that look like they were probably made for half orcs or Goliaths. They're made out of steel.
Would it be possible to put on a fitting gauntlet on my hand and then put a larger gauntlet on top of that gauntlet?
They're not really that large. You could probably find some like leather bracers and like leather gloves in here that you could put on that would fit inside the gauntlet of a Goliath or something.
I'll do that. And then I'll just yoink my hand in there and try and turn the key.
Okay. So you go to put your hand in here and it is solid ice. You can't break the surface with your hand.
Okay, I will bring out my short sword and say the elven word for fire and use flame tongue on the liquid, I guess.
Nice. Go ahead and give me an attack.
Okay, like 2 hit or damage?
Both.
Okay. That is damage. That is not. It's not to hit. Let me. 18.
To hit.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a damage roll.
Okay. Since it's the fire thing, it'd be 2d6 fire.
Yeah, fire. Just give me the fire damage because slashing is not going to do anything to it.
Yeah, 4 fire damage.
So you lay into this thing and you don't really chip off all that much, but you are noticing some of the ice has melted. The ice that has melted is not refreezing, but it's maybe like a 16th of an inch of ice of this probably 2 foot deep basin.
I've got an idea. And Fum Fum grabs a helmet, fills it with hot water from the boiling thing, and pours it in the ice bucket.
Okay. So you
And that's how Fum Fum casts Fog Cloud.
So this basin over here has mainly emptied. It drained all except for maybe about 2 inches of hot water towards the bottom of it. Um, but you're able to get some of it out and pour on here. And after a while, you're able to get enough hot water out of here to melt enough of this ice to get down to the keyhole.
That's the barbarian way. Use your head. Or Tubman's head. Or the thing that was on his head.
I should probably made you make an intelligence roll for that because your intelligence is like what, 6?
10.
Oh,
If
it's
his
10.
wisdom is low.
Oh, okay.
You just got
Average
a low
intelligence
wisdom.
below average wisdom.
Okay, so you've exposed the keyhole at the bottom of this thing.
I will shove my hand in there with the gauntlets and stuff on and try and turn the key.
Okay. It's still kind of chilly in here, but you're able to get to the bottom, insert the key, and turn it. And as you do, you are going to see this steel door down here open.
And can I yoink my hand out now?
Yep.
I yoink my hand out.
I would like Toby to move to the door so that he's one of the first through.
Okay. Are you going to command him to go in?
Once it's open, yeah.
It's cracked open.
Can I first cast light on his shield?
Sure.
Cool.
I will forego making that aura.
Thank
We'll
you.
just say it happened.
Don't worry, I'm ahead of you. I'll put mine on so we
Oh,
can
God.
double check.
So, are you having Toby go in?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a little bright. That is not size of light
Just
spell,
fill
Alexander.
everything with bright white
That was
light.
like a 200-foot square, not 20.
160.
I mean, between the three of us, I'm pretty sure that we can see from here to the entrance. I mean, not really. I'm being facetious, but
All right, so knock that off.
what?
I don't need a sepia filter. All right, so Toby walks into the room.
Stay away from me, Toby.
Nothing happened?
Nope.
Cool.
So as you walk in, this room is much like the others, dark, carved out of stone. But in the middle of the room, sitting on a pedestal, you are going to see a what appears to be some sort of metal box. For the more cultured of you, which would probably be Alexander, you would know that this is a chafing serving dish, and it appears to be made out of mithril.
Careful, I hear it'll make you really uncomfortable when you pick it up. Like it'll rub you raw.
Well, what are you waiting for? Pick it up and we can go.
Okay. Fum Fum picks it up.
Okay, you pick it up.
Did anything happen?
Nope.
Yay! And with his giant bear cloak flapping behind him, Toby or Fum Fum turns and runs toward the entrance of the cave.
Okay.
We
Like
get
you're
the
going to run it all the way
we
back
did
to
the
Maryland.
thing.
So we'll say that after completing this ruin here and finding the chafing dish of what was the name of the mage? Angranor, the famished. You make your way in the next 3 days after you take a rest here in the town of Hilldale to lick your wounds and make your way back to Marilesh to Mad Cedric's Discount Goods and Adventurers Emporium to the office of Charlie the Gnome, who is the local franchise manager here of Improbable Procurements LLC. And you go in and he is like, do you have it?
Yeah, we got it.
It was a
So-
glorious fight. You killed rocks. I got a coat.
So he examines it and pulls out the piece of paper describing what this is supposed to do, and he takes a chicken wing off of his desk and places it inside and waits for a second and opens it back up, and the chicken wing is steaming hot. And he says, "This appears to be it. Great job. And let's see." And he pulls out the contract, and he opens up this chest behind his desk, and he starts counting out gold. And he says, "So that's 150 gold each, minus the management fee, minus taxes. That'll be 125 gold each."
Gravescrape's gonna say no management fee, and management fee is going to be in dude's voice, and no taxes, and again in dude's voice, and have Toby rattle up next to him because they
Rawr.
don't
Brought a
go
skeleton
away.
in town? Oh my gosh.
So the skeleton walks in and he's like, "Ah! Guards! Guards! Weird birthday brought a skeleton in town!"
Don't
And
you
you hear
attack
some,
my friends.
You
Yeah,
hear
pull out
some
my sword and shield.
commotion out in the store area of Mad Cedric's, as it sounds like people are arming themselves after they heard animated skeleton. And he's like, "Get that thing out of here!"
Gravescrape,
So
okay.
Gravescrape's gonna put Toby in his bag of holding. Toby's undead. He can't die in there.
That's fucking weird.
That's fucking weird. And then Gravescrape's gonna nod.
I
So,
think that'll be perfect. That amount that you listed, 125 gold pieces each, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Listen, everybody's got to have a little taste. That's the way things work.
I completely understand where you're coming from. Gravescrape, you know what? I'll buy you a drink.
Gravescrape's gonna reply drink and nod in Six Paw's voice.
What are taxes?
You don't know what taxes are?
I
Now
am a
that's fucking
barbarian
weird.
from the mighty tribe of Goulash.
Well,
That's
let
a
this
no.
be an education to you. See, the way things work in civilization is everybody agrees that there needs to be some sorts of protections and services that are provided by your government to maintain a civilization.
Gravescrape's gonna walk out in the middle of this.
And you hear somebody out in the store hear this discussion going on, and you hear taxation's theft.
Am I being detained? I'm leaving now.
Well, it was good working with you. For this being the first time, I would say this was a pretty successful outing. So, rest up and maybe come back in a few days, and we'll see if there's any other work for you.
Will do. Thank you very much.
That 125 gold, I mean, don't go spending it all. That's what happens with a lot of adventurers around here. They get all that money in their pocket and they go blow it on companionship and drinks and food. I'm just looking out for you. You want to make sure that you open an account with the bank, save a little bit of that for your retirement.
Banks are thieves. No. Stay away. They're my money.
Okay.
They can't have interest in my money.
So with that, we are going to call it an episode.
Great.
As you all make it out into the streets of Marilesh to spin your newfound riches.
Awesome.
Thanks
That was a
for
lot of
coming,
fun.
guys.
Yeah, thanks
That
So
was
that
fun.
was
hosting.
I had a lot of fun doing that, and I hope you had a lot of fun playing that, and hopefully we'll be doing some more of these episodes in the future.
I like
Mhm.
rolling wisdom rolls to see if I do something incredibly stupid or not.
Well, your intelligence is 10. Your wisdom doesn't necessarily dictate how much you know, man.
No, it's just, does he learn from experience or not?
Oh, okay. I just figure with an intelligence of
Does
10,
he
he would
stop
know
and
what the
think before
tax
he does a thing?
is.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully we will be back next week with a regular episode of the Dungeons and Tobacco's podcast.
Hopefully.
Until then, have a good one.
Thanks,
See you,
guys.
everyone.